All right, so a few moves coming out of the front office of the Seattle Mariners today before the first game of the 2-game series against the San Diego Padres in Seattle. First off, Bryan Woo, right-handed pitcher for the Mariners, has been placed on the 15-day injured list, as you can see in the headline, and then right-handed pitcher, relief pitcher Matt Festa has been designated for assignment. The corresponding moves are that Ryder Ryan will be recalled from AAA Tacoma and be making his MLB debut. Right-handed pitcher Ryan Jensen was claimed off of waivers by the Cubs, and then as I mentioned, Bryan Woo was placed on the 15-day injured list with right forearm inflammation is what they say, and then Matt Festa was DFA'd. Regarding the Bryan Woo injury, it's not really an injury, but more so a phantom injury to where essentially they say that the player is injured, put them on the injured list, free up the roster spot for someone else to come in. For example, for Bryan Woo, they were looking to limit his innings at some point, whether it's via the 6-man rotation or having him skip a couple starts. So it looks like they're going to be going the option of the latter. So far this year, Bryan Woo has pitched a career high 99 innings over both AA and the major leagues. So far in the major leagues alone, he's pitched 55. Back in 2022, if you count in his fall league innings, he pitched 67 and 2/3 innings. Back in 2021, before he got Tommy John surgery, he only pitched 28 innings. Regarding the innings pitched, if he was not held back the rest of the year, then he would easily blow past doubling his total that he had ever pitched. And there's more evidence in this phantom injury because per Justin Hollander, as Ryan Divish tweeted out, they put Bryan Woo on the IL out of an abundance of caution. They don't think it's serious, but given Woo's past surgery and his usage, they made that decision. Again, he had Tommy John before being drafted by the Mariners back in 2021. And then Divish goes on to say that Woo wanted to make his start, but both Hollander and Scott Service said they took the decision out of his hands. So Bryan Woo was put on the 15-day IL. This minor leaguer was called up to make his debut out of the bullpen, but Robert Murray, who's a MLB insider, tweeted out earlier today that the Seattle Mariners are calling up top pitching prospect Emerson Hancock, according to sources familiar with the situation. So although it wasn't an official move today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Emerson Hancock is likely going to be called up to the major leagues to make his MLB debut tomorrow. Bryan Woo was set to make his next scheduled start against the Padres in Seattle tomorrow, and instead Emerson Hancock is going to fill in for Woo on this turn of the rotation. Emerson Hancock is currently ranked as the Mariners' number 4 overall prospect, and he was a higher up prospect than Bryan Woo before Woo got the call. Emerson Hancock is at number 4, and I'll also note that the new acquisitions for the Mariners, Dominic Canzone and then Ryan Bliss, slot in at 13 and 14 respectively in the Mariners prospect list, at least through MLB.com. Hancock is listed at 6'4", 213. He's 24 years old. He was drafted back in the first round of the 2020 MLB draft, 6th overall out of the University of Georgia. Emerson was ranked as one of the top righties coming out of that draft, but he's battled injuries in 2021 and 2022. It was the shoulder in 2021 and then a right lat issue in 2022, which is the reason why he's been a bit more delayed in his rise to the big leagues. Although, as the Broken Mariners fan does point out on Twitter, Emerson Hancock since June 9th has had 10 starts, pitched 57 and 2/3 innings, has had a 2.97 ERA, a 3.40 FIP, 8.9 strikeouts per 9, a 1.9 walks per 9, 0.6 home runs per 9, and a 222 batting average against. The biggest thing on the year stat-wise for Emerson Hancock is managing the walks, as on the year he's had 3.5 walks per 9. Hancock, similar to Woo, are right around the same amount of innings pitched total. Back in 2020, when he was at the University of Georgia, he pitched 24 innings. In 2021, after he was drafted, he pitched 44 and 2/3 innings. 2022, he pitched 98 innings, and then so far this year in AA, he's pitched 98 innings as well. So Emerson Hancock and Bryan Woo are both right at that 98, 99 innings so far this year, which is a career high for both of them. So we'll see if the Mariners go with the 6-man rotation moving forward. Although I think it's more likely that they stick to a 5-man and they might alternate Woo and Hancock with phantom IL injuries at some point, because you want guys like Luis Castillo, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, all those guys to be going as often as possible. Bryce Miller has a bit more flexibility with his innings limits, as back in 2022, he pitched 133 and 2/3 innings. So far this year, he's pitched 105 innings. Hancock features a 4-seam fastball, a sinker, slider, curveball, and changeup. So make sure to watch his start tomorrow against the Padres. Be on the lookout for his player profile, which I'm sure is going to be coming relatively soon. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check out Cade Marlowe's player profile. I'll put a link to that video right here. Otherwise, let me know your thoughts on these moves, and I'll see you next time.
All right, guys, goodbye Sunday. Don't forget it.